narrow
I
down.
have to remember
It's
how
the
to
one
start
with
a
that
stream
all the
on
bad
YouTube.
reviews.
I went there to try to buy a pit bull to use for fighting, and they wouldn't let me buy it.
I don't think they do a great job because my animal likes to poop every 4 hours. And he ain't
I guess I
pooping
don't
right
have
now.
to hit anything. We're like already live, I think.
I think we're live.
It says it.
I think I
I
was
just
the
got
fuck outta
notified.
here.
Yeah, I got the notification.
Welcome to Verbal Assault,
Everybody's
the podcast
Silly putty.
that lives by the sword, silly putty, and falls on its sword.
Yeah.
Who wants to pay $25
There we
for
are.
A lot of
just the
questions.
torso of a little boy? You know what I'm saying?
Somebody watch that chat just in case.
yeah. I've got
Pussy
it.
Dart sounds good. Catlick sounds good. But I don't
Hold
know.
up, man.
That was a long time ago. Catapult. There you go.
It's BYOC.
She's a coastal wolf.
Number one rule is don't touch anything. Yeah.
And Jerry Curl.
A state that has more cows than people.
Wisconsin.
Wyoming.
Ranch?
Utah.
The state of ranch. Hold on to your toenails and watch out for the weasels. It's verbal assault.
Do y'all like trolling people? I like trolling people. Let me tell you what I do. Be me. Add random guy on Snapchat. Talk trash. He says he wants to fight. He says he lives in Chicago. At around 3 a.m., send him to a large park about 10 minutes away. I'm here. Where you at? I've been waiting here for you, bitch. Show yourself. Keep insisting that I'm there and that he's flaking on the fight. Tell him to scream so I can locate him. He sends me videos of him screaming at 3 a.m. in Chicago. Send him a picture of my penis and call him a it. That's how I roll, baby.
There you go. That's it.
Just here
I
for
thought
a
it was
good
going to be. I thought he was going to end up trolling the random person walking by, saying, "I'm the one in the red shirt." You know.
Oh, well, I mean, it's enough of a troll to get somebody to go to a park 10 minutes away from their house at 3 a.m. and start screaming, and then
I
tape
used
themselves.
I used to do that to one of my coworkers when somebody would get mad at me on the phone. I was threatened, and they told me they would kick my ass. I said, "Come on down and see me. My name's Joe."
There you go.
How you doing,
That was
Nathan?
fun. Hey,
What the
I'm
fuck?
great.
What
Hey,
the
welcome to
hell?
Verbal
What
Assault.
the hell are we doing?
Verbal Assault. It's a podcast. What do you mean? What the hell we're doing? We're
Oh.
podcast
You're right about that one.
about friends. Did I not have enough energy?
It's a show about the show Friends.
That's
It
right.
is.
Yeah, I hope you're big fans of Phoebe and Rachel and Joey and all the rest.
The Phoebes
Monica.
and the whatnots.
And the Chandlers.
Yeah.
Went really downhill when what's your face started to have the baby. That's when it really got bad.
Who?
Bruce Willis.
Bruce
Yeah, when
Willis.
Bruce Willis
Yeah.
started having the baby.
He was
I
on there
remember
with
that
a baby.
episode.
Yeah.
Baby.
Well, I've been in Florida for a couple days. I'm on Brad and Steve-O's couch right now. Right now, in front of the rocket. Looks like it's coming out of my head. That
Yeah,
picture.
it's great.
Gotta start somewhere.
It's a great photograph.
Well, yeah, it is. We'll get into. I guess when we talk to you guys, the two, Steve-O and Becca, we'll get into last night. But I just want to talk about today what I really liked. We finally went to the German restaurant / jazz club,
German
Heidi's.
jazz.
German jazz.
There,
And it was
there was some dispute
was-
over whether or not this was actually Heidi's place.
yeah.
Oh, you weren't there for that. Yeah, that was.
Is there an actual Heidi's?
Well,
Heidi?
it was
There
Heidi's
was-
Jazz Club.
There was a discussion.
There was some old people going in, and this one, I guess he hadn't been there in a long time, and he's like, I thought we were going to Heidi's. This is Heidelberg's. Although, right under that, it does say Heidi's Jazz Club, but he didn't see it.
Finished reading and was done.
Yeah.
My favorite was the old people sitting right behind me. And
Same
the
guy.
That was them.
Oh, was
Yeah.
it? Okay.
That was them.
They were great. And the guy's
Mhm.
going, why don't they give you spoons down here? They never
Last time
give
I
it up.
was here. Yeah. Go ahead.
There's no spoons.
He was like, last time I was here, they didn't serve a spoon either. And then the waiter came over and was like, here's a spoon. Well, he gave me a spoon, actually. Went like right as the guy was saying it, the waiter came and handed me a spoon and said, here, just in case you want to sample anyone else's food
Oh.
at the table. But then like when the music stopped for a brief moment, when there was a break, and then you just hear my mother loves leg of lamb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes she'd buy a whole
Raised
lamb and
lamb when
she'd
we
set
were
aside the
kids.
leg for herself.
He must not have been able to even hear the music because when the music stopped, he didn't adjust his volume at all.
And the woman's like, did she make the lamb? I don't remember the lamb. I don't
remember the lamb. Did she make the lamb? Yeah, she made the lamb. It was a favorite thing to make. And,
I'll tell you what, she served
rest of the
spoons
club is
too.
silent.
I don't
She
I
did
don't
it with
know.
a spoon.
I don't know if they're trying to be fancy setup really is helping them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I mean, it's like they're going for this stereotypical jazz club that you see in a movie,
hmm
just on a smaller scale, right?
I didn't
1980s jazz club.
I didn't see any cartoon cats though. I was
Is there a giant piano in the middle of the place?
well,
That's
Yeah,
a bunch of
not in the
racist
middle, but yeah.
statues up in the corner, though.
Yeah, they had more of a stage. It wasn't like
It's not that swanky. It's not that swanky,
Yeah.
but they're definitely white tablecloths. Everybody, the waiters are dressed nice. They're very neat.
very professional. Like they
Yeah, the
like,
waiters.
he was
The waiters are
bowing.
good.
He was bowing a lot, like 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 not bowing, but like he'd be like hunched over when he talked to you, like submissive, like very submissive looking.
My
So
favorite part-
honestly, that might be just because he can't hear in the club when the
Maybe.
music's playing.
Maybe.
True.
Yeah.
My favorite part was when we put our decorative flowers on a plate and he didn't want to take it in case we did want to eat the flowers.
Yeah.
Remember, he was like, "Are you going to eat them? Are you sure?" And then he stood there for a minute waiting for us to answer.
Yeah, like
And then I was just like, "Okay, I grabbed the flower and put it in my mouth because that's what he
Yeah,
expected."
I don't know if he had much of a sense of humor.
I imagine that it's the kind of place that rich people frequent, and if you're not just fucking
people.
spot on with your service, then they'll punish you in the tip.
Jazz fans are old white people.
They
Yeah.
hit you with a saxophone in the
70
back room.
plus.
Oh, somebody
I'll
should
bet
have got
anyth-
somebody should have got a picture of those figurines up on that shelf that wouldn't be allowed out in
Anywhere.
public. Yeah. It's just figurines like they look like hand carved like figurines of like black dudes playing trumpets and guitars and shit.
I don't see anything
Like the
wrong
California
I don't either,
raisins.
but it's just the world we live in now.
I
But-
will bet anything he got yelled at once because he took a plate with flowers on it without asking, and he got screamed at
Yeah.
for it. I'll guarantee that's why he did that.
But they had a great three-piece band, and then they brought out a singer, which they started instrumental, and they're like, okay, in a few songs we're gonna get warmed up, and we'll bring out a singer, which that had me nervous, but that woman was phenomenal.
She was good.
Was
Yeah.
it-
Maybe
Was
one of
it
the best singers I've seen. Becca's good. Like I'm not gonna take anything away from Becca. This woman was very good.
Yeah.
She was very, very good, and
She's
I don't.
she's one of those singers why well, I don't know what else she's doing. There's probably a huge underground scene with jazz and stuff, but I hope she's making a living because she can fucking do it. She's she's what you she's the picture in your mind of a woman singer at a jazz club, just real soft and but very effortless, and
Yep.
yeah, she's very, very
Effortless is a good word. Good word for that.
well.
But then, my favorite part, it was the German food was good, but I finally had a cold soup, a cucumber soup.
Ball
It
soup.
was amazing.
Yeah,
It was really
in a
amazing.
really wide, shallow bowl.
Yeah, it was so
Yeah.
good. Oh my god.
It was good.
And I thought it was weird that he compared it to tzatziki, which
Yeah.
is like a dip.
Oh, really?
He's he's like it's
Yeah,
sort of like
it wasn't-
tzatziki, but I'm like,
It wasn't though, because tzatziki you can taste the
Yogurt.
Ziki.
yogurt
Oh.
in it.
yeah,
The yogurt and the ziki.
the tat and
I'll
the
bet
ziki.
anything they made that cucumber soup with like a ranch powder. Like,
Nah.
I tasted ranch in there.
I don't know, it might just I don't know. I didn't taste.
I
it, so don't know.
tasted cucumber, garlic. Becca said some onion. I don't care what the fuck was in it. It was good.
Yeah, yeah.
Becca, how are you?
I am fantastic. I had the other day when I was leaving work, it was 2:00 and I was leaving the building in the capable hands of two young women and just the two of them. One of them is a teenager, and the other one is I'm not sure how old she is, but they're both capable young women. But when I was leaving, someone came into the building and said, "You guys better be careful. They've got some helicopters out here. They're looking for somebody, and there's a bunch of cops stationed around on this road, and so they're definitely out here looking for somebody." And so before I left, I didn't want to leave because I didn't want to leave the two of them there alone in that situation, but I had to. So when I was leaving, I said to them, "Make sure you guys are vigilant and keep your eyes on the camera, check the windows every once in a while, and definitely lock the doors." And they were like, "Okay, yeah, we'll do that." And then I left, and I continued to feel more and more guilty after I left because I felt like I had left them in an unsafe situation. And so I went ahead and called the non-emergency police number to see if I could. When I was leaving, I saw a cop that was parked just a couple driveways down from where I work, and so I was going to call and see if they wouldn't mind to have one of them just post up in the parking lot of my work, because it's going to be in the same area anyway, and it would make me feel better about the safety of the people at work. And so the girl answers the phone at dispatch, and she's like, "Non-emergency, how can I help you?" And I was like, "Damn, she must be really busy." And I said, "Hey, I just left work at this address, and I was wondering if possibly you could have one of the police officers that are out there kind of just post out in that area. Someone had come in and told me that there was a manhunt going on in the area." And she goes, "No, it's not a manhunt. They're looking for a lost child." And I said, "Oh, good."
I love lost children.
And she hung up on me.
Oh, really?
Yep. Hey, Rolly, no. My cat's on the keyboard now.
You should have been like, "Oh, I found one of those."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Jimmy, he's fine.
Yep.
Is that it, Becca?
That's it for me for
that's
now.
it. So, well, hopefully that child is safe.
Hopefully that tail stays right there in front of the.
My cat is being real stupid right now.
Steve-O.
Oh, I'm great. So last week I had to dip out kind of early. Usually, listeners don't realize this. We usually hang out for a few hours after we're done, and I had to dip out kind of early because, and I think I mentioned it on the show, there was a big event. NASA was rolling out the first SLS rocket from the VAB out to the pad, and it was, oh no, I just gave something away. Never mind those frat boys behind the curtain there. But here's
running the show.
Here is the SLS rocket on the mobile launcher atop the crawler, making its way. It's the same path that the Saturn V would take back in the Apollo days, and the same path that the space shuttle would take out to the pad. It's very, very large.
That's a great picture.
There are,
you can see everything.
Yeah, there's some humans there, so that'll.
Oh,
yeah. There's some. It was pretty cool when like some of us like realized like, hey, there's people actually riding it out to the pad. That's totally awesome. And like in some of the pictures, in fact, I was going through some of mine. You could see him waving at us and stuff. I didn't even notice when I was taking the pictures, but it's very, very big rocket. I mean, these solid rocket boosters, if you have any sort of sense of scale of how big the space shuttle was, these are essentially the same solid boosters that the shuttle would use, but they're one segment. These are shipped in segments, and these are one segment longer. So like I would say like this to this, that's a segment there. So these are 5-segment boosters, whereas the shuttle would use 4 segments. So this is very, very large. And then I also have a shot of it out at the pad the next day. They took us out, gave us a second photo op. This was actually taken from the bus. Our spot to view and just take photos was this photo mound. If anybody's ever been, Dave, you may have been to this spot. If you ever go on any of the bus tours at the visitor complex, they'll take you to this photography mound that's like about halfway between 39A and 39B. And so we hung out there. It was very, very foggy. We were out there way longer than we expected because it was just so foggy. You literally couldn't see. And when we got to the press site, the VAB is right behind the press site. It was so foggy we could not see the VAB. And it's a massive building. We could not see it. So we were there a lot longer than we expected. But yeah, it's just kind of neat to see SLS. Actually, it's a real rocket. And I've talked about it in the past about how it's way too expensive and it's only going to fly a few times, and Starship is probably going to be the thing that kills it, but it's still really cool to see this thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I had and also sometime last week there was a launch, and I opted
nice.
I opted to just watch this launch just from the beach and shoot a streak shot. And
I like the streak shots.
Yeah, and
I'm a fan of the streak shots. That's one of the ones that the one I have from you is a streak shot that I bought.
Yeah, I wanted to just do. I hadn't done this in a while. Like just do like a basically wassailing, but I happened to watch a launch and take a photo at the same time, and it happened to be low tide, which is perfect to try to get this reflection, because the water.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Yeah, the water was coming up this far, but it was sort of. It's kind of rare. Like it wasn't like washing up constantly. So I was like, I bet if I wait till like T-2 minutes, I can just plop the camera down right here in the reflective part and hopefully get a good reflection. And I was quite pleased whenever it was done.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. That's and then I don't know when to bring up our day yesterday, but maybe after intros.
Yeah, I guess we'll do it after.
Yeah.
Let's go to Patrick.
Yeah, it's been lonely since Monday.
Did you go?
Yeah.
Did you go out to?
I went out to Paul's. Yeah. No, it was actually nobody was in there because UT lost the March Madness, so it was
like the first game,
right?
right?
Nobody. The first game of March Madness. UT
It was the second one. But
Yeah.
Oh, they
Go
made it
on.
around two.
It's all I've
they
wanted
beat the
for
first
weeks is an
Yeah.
empty bar.
That's what I said too. I was
Yeah.
like, Nathan would have loved this, but nope,
Yeah.
dead shit.
Well, maybe it's
Nobody's
because
in
Nathan
there.
wasn't there.
Maybe
Yeah,
maybe
we
that's
had
it.
the jukebox to ourselves. It was nice.
Mm.
Bartender even turned up the music for us too. It was kick ass.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, you missed out. That's what you get for going to Florida.
Here I am down here drinking with frat boys on the beach.
Yeah.
Drinking with Clemson rowing team.
Clemson rowing team.
You really missed out on that monopoly on the jukebox.
Yeah,
Seating.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Ample
Played-
seating.
play pool all night. It was nice. That's been the highlight of my week this week. And then we got like a mini couch for my daughter that she uses now. I'll show you
Yeah,
pictures later.
Yeah, a baby
Oh, she's couch trained. Cool.
Yeah.
She can sit on a
doesn't-
chair or a couch.
No,
Do it all.
She it's like a cat bed, but for babies.
She's too furry to sit on
Yeah.
a regular couch.
Yeah, so she's got to sit on this couch. But yeah, other than that, it's been a pretty decent week so far.
Good.
Crying myself to sleep every night because you're gone.
Masturbating
me
in the
too.
corner.
I've been crying
using his tears
nonstop.
as lubricant.
Brad.
Hi. I'm doing all right. Not really a whole lot going on. Except for working.
You can tell people
Apparently
how much you
work-
spent at the super fancy jazz club.
I mean, I got what I get. The
It's pretty expensive. It
You
was-
got
house-
the Hammocker Schlemmer plate.
Yeah.
the Hammocker Schlemmer.
What was it called?
plate.
Hauswasser plot or
House Watts
Lots of plotsum.
Plattenplaten. Yeah, where I got pork, I got a fine hot dog.
yeah. It was a bratwurst and then a whatever.
Finest of wieners.
It was a bratwurst,
Finest of
a
wieners.
something worst,
Knockwurst.
knockwurst, and then
that-
some kind of pork.
Yeah, like some low fat pork or something.
Yeah.
Knockwurst,
Tenderloin.
was it like basted in blood?
I'm pretty sure that was the one that just it looked and tasted like it was just a big hot dog.
Big old fat.
It
hot
really
dog.
Not
did
on
just
a
taste
bun,
like a hot
but
dog.
yeah, it was just. I thought it was a nice touch that they put some slices on the tops of them so that you had easy places to just cut into it with your fork. I don't know. I thought that was a nice touch.
Is that why they do that?
I thought
No, I
so.
think they do
I
that
don't
to
know.
make it
Probably
cook
for
faster.
cooking, yeah. But
Yeah.
it was
No, you can't do that while it's cooking, or else it
It
releases
looks
all the
cool.
juice.
Yeah, you got to poke hot dogs so they don't explode when you put them in the microwave. Hopefully, our food wasn't microwave. You never know. Yeah, that was good. I like the lobster bisque too.
Yeah,
It was
lobster
the right
bisque was
amount
very
of
good.
fishy to be like, yeah, you're eating seafood.
And the
But it
bread they
wasn't.
served, though, I was a little disappointed that they served it with hard butter. It's very
Cold
difficult.
ass butter.
Yeah,
very
the
difficult to
coldest,
spread.
the coldest of butter.
Yeah, like you
Oh,
really.
they shape it into a rose for you,
Yeah.
but it's just too cold.
That was kind of neat,
I mean,
but it
too
was
cold.
too cold to be spread. Like
You
not even
gotta
like
put it in your hands.
oh yeah
Yeah, just pick it up and rub it in your hand
Yeah,
and
warm
just
it up.
smear
Warm
it
it
on the
up.
bread.
squeeze it so it just drips
Wipe your
out.
hands on the tablecloth. That's what it's for.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
That place
some-
was good. It's too expensive, but
Yeah, it was
I
good.
really
It was
liked
it's too expensive.
Yeah.
Next time, we should go to the German beer garden. Oh, we could do that Sunday. We could do that.
I'm all
for
about
lunch. Let's
beer
go to
gardens.
the German beer garden.
Where's
in
that?
Cocoa.
I did
Cocoa.
look that
Cocoa
place.
Beer.
Oh yeah,
You've
yeah,
been
I've
there.
been there. Yeah, that place is
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
They serve you huge fucking mugs, man. Fucking
Mhm.
Yeah, you can get Das Boot.
yeah, you can. I think actually. Yeah,
We could do the boot. Me and Becca have done the boot.
yeah.
Done it.
Yeah, we do
We
a
did it.
boot and then drive to Orlando.
Yeah.
Nah, we'll do the boot and then we'll go to a game store and then we'll go to Orlando when we're not
Like we're invading France. We're gonna invade Orlando.
Yeah. We're
Go
gonna
to
come
the what was the seafood? What was it called? Lobster Bobster Market.
Lobster
Lobster
face.
Lobster Bobster.
Lobster Bobster.
Yeah, that place
Yeah,
is
Lobster
even more.
Bobster.
Like you'd spend more there. That's like $75 a head, wasn't it?
No,
Oh,
it
shit.
was
Oh.
60.
Oh,
maybe.
but I
Only
got
60.
margaritas though. That's why.
I don't
I
know
could
what
go
the
to-
cigar shop's going to cost. I know the ramen spot is correctly priced.
Ramen is not supposed to be expensive.
Well, it's still Orlando, so you're still
Yeah.
paying $12 for it. But yeah,
Lobster Bobster.
Lobster Bobster.
Hey
Go in
Dave.
there and get them cheddar biscuits.
Yo.
How you
What
doing,
up?
Dave? How's it going?
Okay.
Yeah.
You looking
Okay.
good? You didn't get too much sun? It's
No,
good.
I'm being careful. No, yeah. They sprayed me down. I got all sprayed down.
They spray you down with bug spray too.
No, it hasn't been necessary where we've been.
I don't do bug spray. unless it's
We don't
really
get
bad.
bugs here on the beach.
Not usually.
Yeah,
I've been
It's been
too
windy
windy.
enough.
I have been
Too
out there
windy.
before and been eat up by mosquitoes, which is
Me too.
pretty rare, but it happens.
It's on the hot summer nights when there's no wind.
Hmm.
Well, yeah, I hate that.
Yeah,
Well, everything's fine. Everything's good. I'm all right.
everything's fine.
All right.
Everything's beautiful. Everything's great. I just feel so good. I'm 80 years old and
As
I'm
long
slurping
as-
everything through a straw.
As long as Dave's fine, I'm fine. All right. Well, why don't you guys tell that story of what we did last night?
Well,
And
I
I'll
figure
just
we went. I took Nathan to one of my favorite places that I go at least once a week, down to Sergio's Tacos,
Mm.
and I got that's a legit burrito out of Nathan. I told Sergio.
Yeah, it's
we
very
we
good.
finally discovered that it is Sergio himself,
We talked to the Sergio.
the actual
We.
Sergio.
A
Yeah.
very
We
you
finally
did. You
discovered.
did.
Did some-
you talked
yeah.
to him, and I listened.
Becca did some investigative reporting, which is going to be her next profession. We decided that was one thing we decided on our Wassel trip.
That's what my boss told me I should be. Guess I deserve that.
Yeah, so I don't know what this, is a typical Wassel. We've talked about how those work. Wassailing 2.0 is where you start out during the day and walk south. Typically, there's a stop at the Hilton Bar, Tiki Bar, and this was no different.
We got margaritas from a nice but reluctant waitress.
Yeah,
Very, very green drinks.
she was not really wanting to serve us and wasn't necessarily hiding it. She wasn't rude about it, but she said that either we can order from her or we can order from the bar if we want. Like, well,
It's up to us.
I think
What
one of
options?
y'all was like, well, we are sitting here.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was me.
Yeah, that was Becca.
Sounds like a Becca line if I've
Yeah.
ever heard one.
And then after she brought us our first drink, well, let's see, it was about time for our second drinks, and then she comes back and she's like, hey, is there any way that I could get y'all to go ahead and tab out and we'll get someone else over
'cause
here?
she wanted to leave.
Yeah, she wanted to leave. That's exactly.
She'd
the
been
move.
there since 10
All
o'clock
day.
in the morning, and it was
Oh, she told
was
you.
all the way to 4 o'clock.
Oh, Jesus
Oh.
Christ.
She's there all day.
Yeah, she's been there all 6 hours, and she's
She's almost Todd hours.
Yeah.
I've been here for at least like 6 hours. I gotta get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
I don't like making
Gotta
money.
Cash out.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay, so then our ultimate destination is always Beach Shack, and
Where Sandy was nowhere to be found, the
No.
beach shack cat.
yeah, she might have been hiding in the grass amongst the dunes, but she blends in very well, so it'd be impossible to see her if you don't.
We were at the beach shack, and Becca got propositioned for a threesome.
That's right.
I did.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I went in to get my first drink, and they were outside on the patio, and the only spot that was available to stand at the bar was next to this woman who was sitting by herself, but there were 2 drinks. So I was hoping that I'd get in and out pretty quick because I didn't want to be blocking somebody's seat. But as it turns out, that didn't matter because I started talking to the woman that was sitting there, and she was telling me that they were on vacation and her parents were watching the kids or something, and just tell me about that they had been to this spot last year and they really liked the beach shack because it was the best bar in town. And I said, "Yeah, you're right. This is definitely the best place." And then her husband comes over, and he was way drunker than she was, but he was standing by me. She was sitting and he was standing, and he was just towering over me, and he had crazy eyes, and he just kept looking at me, and we were just
Crazy
talking about
eyes.
we were just talking about all the various things to do around town, and he just kept going, "I am so glad we met her. She's so intelligent. You're just so intelligent."
You're muted, Brad.
I can tell you're just really intelligent. And there were some questions about how long they were going to be there and how long I was going to be there, and they asked if I had anybody with me, and I said I do actually. I've got some friends outside, and I at that point I could tell what was happening, and I said I probably ought to get back out there to them, and the man was like, "Well, we're really glad we met you. Did you if you want to come back in here and see us? We're going to be here for about another hour or so, and we just got a place right up the road over here." And I was like, "Well, it was nice to meet you. See you later."
Tell them about the crazy woman in the bathroom.
Yeah, and then when I went for my first bathroom break, so the men's bathroom is still being renovated, so everybody is using the women's bathroom, and there's only 2 stalls in there. And I go in.
It's like the future. It's the gender equal future we always wanted, where the men piss all over everything and the women aren't happy.
Yeah, the women have to deal with it.
When I walked in, there was a woman in one stall and a man in the other stall, and they were talking to each other. And I heard somebody say, "We can have some more fun around here." And I said, "I would like to hear your suggestions for how to have some more fun around here." And the woman just opens her stall while she's peeing and looks up at me, and she goes, "Well, this is how you can have more fun." And she points to the toilet paper dispenser where there appears to be a pile of cocaine. And she
People
was like,
don't normally leave that out.
well,
I was suspicious.
That is what we learned.
Yeah,
we'll get
people
there.
normally don't.
We'll get to that.
So then her and I started having a conversation about cocaine for a while, and then I realized, oh shit, we're hogging this bathroom. There's a line of people outside, so I went out, and there were 3 men waiting in line to go in. I think one of them was you.
Yeah, I was next up. And when I think like you kind of started to push the door open, and I'm like, someone's trying to. Okay, so clearly, and then I open it, and I'm like, what the fuck? We're waiting.
We told Becca told Steve-O about that potential cocaine, and he went right back into that bathroom.
To investigate.
This was my next bathroom break because Becca hadn't had a chance to tell me about the mysterious powder on the toilet paper dispenser. So we get back to the table, and she's telling me, in my next bathroom. It was right away. So you must not have told me right away. Anyway, I'm like, okay, well, I've seen cocaine before. I'm like, I'm gonna go look. I'm not, I've tasted it. So I was like, if it looks legit, then maybe I will give it a taste. And basically, for all you kiddos out there, it makes your tongue numb. If it makes your tongue numb, then it's probably cocaine. But it might have other things.
Allegedly,
in it too.
it's allegedly.
Allegedly.
What I've heard.
Just say that word throughout the story, and we'll be fine.
Dave just does this thoughtful nod.
Yeah, he's like, "Yep, he's
notice
right."
that? He's like,
"Yep, that's right." That's true.
He's nodding like he read it on a fortune cookie. Like, yeah.
Yeah, and the more pure it is, the
I've
more
read
numb.
some Reddit posts about it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I go in there and I go in
Johnny told me.
the appropriate stall that has this mysterious powder. And right away I'm like, well, that ain't cocaine, first of all. So there will be no sampling here. And I lean down, I look closer at it and I'm like, okay, it's sort of like brown and like maybe it's meth or something. And then I realize like
Heroin.
where the dispenser meets
heroin.
where
It's
the
heroin.
where the dispenser meets the wall, you can see where just like sand has built up right there. And then I'm like, that's fucking sand. It's fucking. We're on the beach. It's fucking beach
There's sand everywhere.
Why
Yeah,
it's
there's
there,
sand
I don't
everywhere.
know. How sand got like this. It looked like someone stepped on the toilet paper dispenser and some sand
Yes, they-
came off of their shoe.
They didn't want to sit on the toilet. They were squatting, up
Squatting
in the
from
air.
above.
Yeah, there was
They
a
had
big
one
girl
thing
was
on
doing the
toilet,
hover
and they
squat.
just was they
Yeah,
were
she
they were
was the true
dive bombing
Batman.
into the
That's
toilet.
what girls do in bathroom situations like that. When everything's pissed on, they do the hover squat.
Yeah,
She
they
probably had
hover
one
squat.
foot-
Yeah,
1 foot on the seat, 1 foot was on the fucking dispenser.
yeah. And it was.
Oh, I forgot to tell you guys. We had a conversation about that tampon thing. The
Oh
little-
yeah. Oh, did you open it?
I opened one of them.
And
Why?
Why?
and
Morbid curiosity.
yeah, I almost did. I was
Gross.
almost drunk
Ugh.
enough. To
There was a
open one.
massive rolled up. It looked like a dish rag, a pink massive rolled up dish rag.
Nice.
Oh.
Yeah, so it had soaked up
Here,
quite a
plug
bit
it
of blood.
like this.
I mean, you
Well,
know,
then-
you're gonna be washing your hands right after, so it's probably fine.
Well, then my
That
next
almost make Patrick throw up.
Yeah, hey Patrick, there's
Look
this
at him.
thing. I didn't
Yeah.
know this was a thing, and I had to ask Becca if this is fairly standard in the women's
Becca gave
restroom.
us a seminar on tampon use.
Yeah, it's
as well.
a separate little. It's a very small, you know, I don't know, maybe 8 inches tall and like 6 inches wide. This little trash can that's like mounted
I'm
on the
aware.
wall. I've
Yeah,
never seen
I'm
them
aware
before.
of these things. Yeah,
I don't
I've
think
seen
I've
them
seen
everywhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's what those are, so that women don't flush them.
And then my next trip into the bathroom, I was opening the door and a man was walking out and he looks at me in the eye and he says, "You put the seat up when you're done."
And he's
I
right.
said, "It's only fair." I'll do it. All right. So then we started the trek back, and on the way, we encountered a
Oh, we didn't talk
lifeguard
about
stand.
the guy, the guy that was playing. We sort of had our own little jukebox. I was able to
Oh,
shout
that's
out a couple
right.
requests, but we can't remember his fucking name, of course.
Well, you could understand him when he was singing, but not when he was talking. His words were very. His voice was, what did you call it, Nathan? It was just like gravel.
Yeah.
You could grate cheese with his
That's
voice.
it. Yeah.
He was just singing country shit. That was
Yeah.
right. And I suggested Led Zeppelin, and he like farted at me.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, not because he didn't like it, because he had a very low voice. He wasn't going to be able to hit any high notes or do it any justice. I think he turned down some other requests too because of that.
Journey.
Journey, yeah. And I don't know if
Just,
anybody
like,
got it. I
let's name
shouted.
off every side pit singing
I
song.
said, "You're not even Filipino," and I don't know if he got it.
I got it.
Yeah.
Get it?
Anyway,
I don't get it.
You don't get it? The
Oh, you
lead
don't get it?
singer of Journey is Filipino.
yeah.
Send
Is
them
it
an
really?
Yeah,
Amazon Prime
there's
documentary.
there's a documentary that's about how they searched out for somebody that could sing those songs, and they found this Filipino dude. He was the singer of a cover band in the Philippines, not very famous, but they had a couple videos on YouTube, and when he sang Journey, he sounded just like Steve Perry. Wait, was that his
Yep.
name? Steve
Yeah.
Perry?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, he sounded just fucking like him. So they hired his ass, and he went on a world tour with Journey. And they coached him up. They helped him make his voice stronger to be able to handle singing every day like that. And it was a real rags to riches kind of tale.
Good for him.
Yeah, it's really cool.
He came from a teeny little town that had like what you would expect to see. Like it was houses that could fall over and people out in the street making
Like that kid
baskets
in
of
Africa
rice.
that plays drums on buckets.
Yeah, and then I think it might have been like the last show of that tour. They went and played in the Philippines, and so it's like hometown hero makes good, and everybody got to come out and see him perform with Journey.
Inspiring. I didn't know we'd get such an inspiring story amongst this story of debauchery from last night. Well, anyway, so we're walking back on the beach.
We're picking up lifeguard stands.
Everybody's
picking them up
walking
and
too
knocking them
fast,
down.
and I'm getting irritated by everybody's fast walking.
No, yeah,
slow down.
It was insane how much. Well, it didn't really seem to take that much longer.
Yeah.
it
seemed to go by pretty quick, the walk back, but we were
Steve-O's
walking pretty
starts
slow.
kicking up the seaweed, so you can see the phytoplankton, the little tiny shrimps that glow.
Mm-hmm.
And we stopped everybody.
He keeps trying to tell people nobody fucking cares at all.
Because
get away from me, crazy person in the dark. That's run up to me yelling about kicking seaweed. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, one of the most annoying things on the beach at night is that most tourists feel like they need to bring a flashlight with them out there, and some of them I know they're looking for crabs or whatever. I don't know what the big deal is with everybody looking for crabs, but I don't think that's everybody. I think some people, they just think, oh, it's dark, I'm gonna need a flashlight. Well, people, you do not need a flashlight on the beach. Even if there's no moon, there's still enough light once your eyes adjust, and you might see something cool like glowing phytoplankton in the seaweed.
So we get to the end of our journey, near to the end, and we see a large group of what turns out to be virile young men.
Yes, and we shout "party people" as is tradition.
Young, dumb, full of cum.
Yep, and they sort of they ignore me at first. They actually sort of rudely blew me off at first, but then one of them, one came over and just he entertained this biology lesson I was trying to give him, and he verified, oh, this is actually cool, and he grabbed a couple of his bros. And they came to check it out, and then we were welcomed in.
All of a sudden, the party was going.
Yeah, all of a sudden, they all came over towards us, and we're surrounded.
And we were all accepted.
Yeah, it
was exactly like a movie. Their coach, this man should be fired. I don't know who he is.
Yeah.
He needs to lose his job. This guy, he had the speaker. He had the speaker. They were listening to kind of the music the kind of stuff we listen to, like dance.
Yeah,
kind of dubstep kind of shit.
It was okay. Yeah.
And they're doing these chants, and he's pumping the speaker, and they're passing this fucking jug around of this just terrible concoction.
Which I have.
The Morgan Freeman.
I have the
Steve has got it.
I have it. Yes. Let's see.
You have the mythical bottle.
Yes. When they were done with it.
Steve, click on yourself so we can see that. Click on yourself.
I'll stop.
Is that dude pissing in the background? Pull that picture back.
Wait,
Pull that back up.
I don't think he's pissing.
All right, look at the look on his face, and then
there's like a shoe
going
on.
That's
here.
a shoe.
Oh, he is pissing.
No, he's not. He's not.
That angle lines up just right.
But that's a shoe, dude. That's like the sole of a shoe back there. There's a leg, and this is a shoe.
But still, look at his posture.
It does look like he's pissing. He might be.
His face.
He might be pissing.
That'll be on one of those pics, like one of those BuzzFeed click through. Oh, you'll never believe these wacky pictures.
I don't know.
Do you remember what was in that drink?
It was vodka, water, and Mio.
Walmart Mio.
Yeah,
Mio.
not even the name brand Mio.
Walmart Mio.
Cheap ass.
Yep.
Yeah. Here, I don't know how to just blow me up, and I don't want to screw it up looking. So yeah, here we go. We've got the tiger. We've got
anything is possible.
Dolphin.
John 3:16.
Anything is possible. What does that say?
Something snake.
Spotted snake.
And then Borg and Freeman. Because
do you remember what Borg stands
I do.
for?
What does this say? This says these are those are
something under our
ants.
skin.
Yeah, those are ants under your skin. Rip them out. I don't know. I'm sure they're just things that
doesn't sound method
phrases that they said and wanted to remember. But yeah, Borg stands for Blackout Rage Gallon.
Blackout Rage Gallon.
Yeah,
There you go.
they were
That
basically
shit was
slapping
terrible.
the sack. It was very similar. It was a
Yeah.
pass it around.
Yeah.
Kind
They
of
would do a
situation.
chant, pass around chant.
You had to
chug,
slap it.
drink
Borg,
some
Borg, Borg,
Yeah.
Borg.
And
Yeah.
they did. They also
It was
required you to
very
slap it, and I was
Animal
definitely
House. Yeah.
And we all drank
But yes,
from it.
Mhm.
this we did.
Yeah,
We,
so
all
got COVID
got our
from 'em.
booster shots.
Yeah,
We all got our booster shots. Yeah, and it was the Clemson rowing team, right? That was.
Yeah.
And I remember we were like, we went to see Jordan Peterson at Clemson, and the
they're
kid was like,
oh, fuck
oh,
that guy.
you know, he was like, oh yeah, Jordan. He was like on with like that Joe
Podcast Joe guy.
like
Yeah.
Joe
What's
Rogan,
his name?
You know,
Yeah, it's weird.
the biggest
Yeah, that
podcast in
sounds
the world. That guy,
Familiar?
that one.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I
they were, you know, they were good kids. They were
Yeah.
wrestling a lot in the sand.
Mhm.
You know,
I had a
Wrestle with 'em.
conversation with the coach who is 29 years old, and I think he said makes $7,000 a year
Oh boy.
coaching that team.
What?
I mean,
Clemson, that is a very nice school. It is picturesque. It is
I remember
beautiful.
when I
Well,
went
yeah,
there
they've won
for-
enough championships.
Yeah.
They better.
well, but it's a
fucking be.
rowing team, though. You know,
Yeah,
that's not
I
going to
went
pay
there
much.
for-
a year. That's like minor league money.
Yeah, well, I'm sure it's not his only job.
What are you saying, Patrick?
I said I went there for a gymnastics meet back when I did gymnastics, and I remember stealing somebody's sweater from there. They had left it hanging off their balcony from one of the dorms.
Oh yeah.
Did not get in trouble for it, moms. Like, why'd you steal that? I was like, I want a sweater. I'm not paying $60 for a sweater.
I'll let someone else do it.
I'm
Yeah.
not paying $60.
Yeah. So
Or
I
sweater.
still
probably
got
get a
some-
discount.
Never pay that much
The
for a
students.
sweater. I never
Yeah.
will.
Well, then also I was having a conversation with one of the kids and learned a lot about him. He was a freshman and he was on an ROTC scholarship. And I asked him how long he'd been in ROTC, and he said, "Oh, I wasn't. I just got the ROTC scholarship, and now I'm in ROTC." I
Oh.
was like, okay. And he's one of 6. His siblings, he's a college freshman, and his oldest sibling is 46. And he told me that he's about to lose his scholarship because he got caught cheating on his homework twice. And I said, well, why did you cheat? And he said, because I'm majoring in bioengineering and I don't know what I'm doing. And I said, well, what do you want to do? And he said, I don't know. And I said, well, let me give you a secret. 10 years later, you probably still aren't going to.
Yeah.
We ended up talking for pretty much the rest of the time. And then when it was time to go, they just fucking
Yeah,
disappeared.
there's all
It
of
was
a
just like
sudden
they're
it was
gone.
like lights out. They
Bounce.
just left.
But the kid
Oh,
I was
yeah.
talking to holds his phone up to me and he's like, you think I could get your number? We could meet up again when I'm
Aw.
here. And I was like, I just got a college kid.
Yeah.
That is so weird.
Wow.
He was definitely one of the youngest ones there too. He
Yeah.
was a little cutie, but
Did
that
you-
ain't my style. I ain't your vacation booty.
Yeah. And well,
Vacation
and
booty.
also let's not forget that Becca all but promised them that she would be out there at 6 a.m. for practice. They were going to get her on one of the boats and see what she was made of.
I guarantee they were not going to let me on one of those boats. That's the only reason I didn't go.
But I think I could tell you why she didn't make it. This is
I'm
Becca.
still holding my vape.
This is Becca at 5 a.m.
Got it.
That's
My beer is unopened and I'm holding my vape.
Meanwhile, me and Steve are listening to
Rich Mullins, yeah.
We're listening to Jesus music,
Yeah.
loving every minute of it.
Hmm. Yeah.
Becca's just-
You guys bring out the best in me, really.
Yeah.
oh man! All right,
Yeah, it was
Well,
a good night, man. It was fun.
yeah, it was a lot of
And
fun.
then I slept until about 2 p.m.
It
today.
was a rough night.
Yeah.
There's just to let y'all know, there is a demon that lives in this apartment.
Did he do it again?
Yes, at 11:10.
S-
11:10.
Same time?
And it's
Is that
coming for you. No, but I woke up and I immediately picked up my phone to check this time.
Uh-huh.
And it's
Well-
coming from your room, Steve-O, and it sounds like a shrieking. It
Steve
sounds
likes
like
to
a.
scream in his sleep.
I
That's
do
what it
talk in my
sounded
sleep.
like.
Yeah.
It was a scream. And let me ask you another question, Steve-O. Do you fall asleep blasting Sling Blade every single night? Is that a normal? Is that just a normal way you do things?
It's usually something. I usually put some movie on.
2 out of 7 days.
And
of
I
Sling
haven't,
Blade.
like, I've done that several times in the last couple of weeks, but I haven't made it through it. I haven't made it much farther than maybe like 10 minutes into the movie.
It's
So I've
so
just,
loud, and the way these people talk in this movie and the background music, it's creepy as hell.
Gas.
It's all creepy.
ain't got no gas in it.
The last 2 nights, I felt like I've been in a horror movie when I'm sleeping. It's like I'm hearing this like piano music, and then these people talking with these like crazy hillbilly accents,
Yeah.
and then at some point I wake up with a shriek in my ear, and I don't know what that is.
I
Then
like the
another
way you
night, I
talk,
thought you were
too.
whispering. I thought you were whispering my name at me from the other room.
Yeah.
Like I thought it was like Nathan. Like I had that happening.
I don't. Yeah, and I don't usually fall asleep with my door open. I think it's sort of a. There's a
I
hope.
think it was a pass out kind of situation that happened. at
Close
5
it
a.m.
tonight.
yesterday.
I want it closed tonight.
Yeah, it'll be
Close.
close.
No.
It's this. I think it's sort of like, maybe I'll get a second wind and come back out to party or something. It's sort of like
5 a.m.
it's like, hey, if you got anything cool, man, I'm still open to party. But clearly I'm not. But yeah, that's sort of what the door open is about.
All right, we need to get to some stuff here. I think we'll leave our shenanigans there for tonight. Maybe we'll have more next week.
Yeah.
I had a bunch of stuff. I think I might just pare it down to one thing, and I've got something here. And Dave,
Yeah.
I need you to read this for me, Dave.
Oh my God. All
New
right.
segment.
Jesus Christ.
New segment for the show. I don't know what it's called, and we got to get a theme song. But this is called Dave reads things he doesn't want to.
Dave's reading things he just don't want to read. It's gonna be things Dave reads. I'm gonna clip that, and there you go. There's your music.
Just add some like country twang guitar riff to it. Yeah.
We'll get that gravel voice guy to
I was
record
going
something
more
for
with a
us.
Michael Bolton,
Yeah.
but I mean, I can redo it.
Could be that. Yeah.
Or you can do some
All right,
sax.
Start
swinging.
right here, Dave.
Right?
I mean,
Can you see it okay, Dave?
Yeah, he can read it. He can read it.
Why don't you send him a screenshot of it to his phone? That way
no,
we
no,
just
you
know
don't
he
have to
can
do
read
that.
it.
No, he
Don't
can
send
read
any
it.
of
He
that
can
shit
read
with
it.
me. Certainly
I'll
don't
take a
send it
picture and
with
send it in group
Yeah.
chat right now.
Okay. Why do I have to do this? Why?
You're the most appropriate person to read this.
Yeah, and the term is, why do you get to
Yeah.
read this? I would love to.
Because he read good.
You read good.
I
Yeah.
read good. All right, here we go.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so desperate to have sex with a female clown, I can't take it. More than anything, I just want a beautiful woman with a clown costume, makeup, and a big red nose to have my sweaty, passionate sex with. I want her to lay on my bed, take her big shoes off, and let me suck and lick her toes while jerking myself off while she blows up condoms and makes them into balloon animals. Yeah. Then I want her to take off her clown pants and clown underwear and then start pulling several feet of colored scars out of her pussy. Once the scarves are out, I want to enter her, then fuck her as she honks her big red nose in time to my thrusts. I want her to do clown laugh and spray me with a squirt gun flower as I come. I don't know why I have this fantasy, but I do, and it's killing me. I want clown pussy so bad it hurts.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Dave, Dave was reluctant last time, but this time, Dave immediately.
Spot
She
on.
really
He
owns
wrote
it.
this
Yeah,
one.
Dave felt it.
Yeah.
Dave is
feeling it.
femme clown lover.
That's the
Wow.
only reason I'm here. It's the only reason.
Wow.
Make Make some guy feel uncomfortable. That's
That
it.
is great. Thank you, Dave. And thanks to Jerry for sending that to me once again. Jerry always pulling
fucking
through.
Jerry. I had
He
to read the
said
last
he
thing
even
Jerry
said
sent.
to me, he even said to me, you have to make Dave read this. I'm like, oh,
That's
yeah.
what he said last time.
No, last time I said that. He said it to me, and I go, oh, I got to make Dave read this. And then a new thing was born. There we go. Thank you, Dave. That was clip it out. Make it your ringtone.
Oh yeah.
Let's go to somebody else's stuff. Somebody else has got something, I'm sure.
I got something. Go
Yeah.
ahead and pull up one of those videos I sent, Steve.
Just anyone.
Anyone. When I see it, I'll just.
This is
intro
the
it
first
as-
one.
Oh, all right. Well, who here loves a good rap about COVID, especially in front of a city council meeting?
Yes, I love
I
those.
mean, who
That's
doesn't?
my favorite genre of videos.
All right. Well, I can't remember how much COVID is in this, but I do remember that I heard it. It was quite humorous. So
Alright.
go ahead and play it and go skip to like the 50-second mark too, if possible. There, right there.
Right here.
That's fine.
Oh, it's gonna load.
Your
it
shipping
now.
manager
Oh,
le-
God damn it!
Ooh, it's a 13-second one too.
No, I
Ooh.
can skip it.
Oh, there we go.
Ukraine, a bullet, the time, go insane for Ukraine, a bullet in Putin's brain. I'm time, always on the grind, always gotta shine, and you know it's no lie.
My best friend.
What? Oh, excuse me. Come on, audio. Where are we going? Now we're going. Now we're cooking, guys. I got it turned down a little bit. It's prime time. Let's start that one more time, guys. Come on in the audience. Let's vibe tonight. It's prime
It's
time.
painful.
Officer,
He's
you know
killing
I'm on the
that microphone.
grind. You know gas prices are way too high. Putin's got to die. Put a bullet in Putin's head. Yeah, that's what I said. I'm a freak for the vaccine. Vaccinate my body at the party. Sipping Bacardi. I'm the proof when I'm in the booth. Spitting on the mic. It's anti-vax.
Plano, Texas.
This guy.
I'm in the ground, white or brown, and I'm in Plano town. And you know you just got found.
Oh.
I'm a pimp.
What
I'm
did
a
he
blimp.
say that he was
Unless a
presenting
steak is shrimp.
to the city council?
Mission, I'm number 99. And you know I
Jesus
grand
Christ.
shine.
I
And you
can't.
know I do it
Yeah.
on the grind. One more time, I'm teaching.
They would rather
guys.
read some more
This
clown
is
porn.
Your hope.
Yeah.
Zelensky.
You got
It's
any
a
more of that,
VIP.
Nathan?
You ain't never go
Sorry.
insane. Put a bullet in
These people, listen to the lady in the back. Look at the lady in the back.
Oh
Look
yeah,
at the
no,
lady in the back
yeah,
crying
yeah,
hard.
Zelensky
Yeah.
stand.
She's look at her. She's cracking. This guy beside.
Zelensky.
Oh my god.
Also smart.
This
What's that
it's
smart?
too
Did
much.
somebody fire?
Oh man.
No, what can you say?
How
All
long
right,
does this
that's
guy
good. That's
think-
good. That's good.
That's enough of that.
Hey,
one.
man, that poor microphone, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Listeners,
The mic was
that was
not
not
built for
your
that.
speakers
Yeah.
blowing. That was.
Yeah, that's not our fault.
No, it's
that
a man
was-
who doesn't know how clipping and microphone
Yeah,
placement
he's
works.
actually he sounded the best when he was turned the other way.
Yes.
yeah.
Oh man. Okay. So
All right,
what
well-
was his point?
Yeah,
he,
that's
what I wanna
was,
know.
he
Right
was
hard
try-
for Zelensky.
There's
I think he
there's
was
no
just trying
story
to
there
get
either.
meme. He was trying to get
Oh.
meme notoriety, I think, because he
Yeah.
knew he'd be on TV and somebody would be like, "This is ridiculous."
Yeah, he's a meme the meme slut.
Well, like
I think-
the one dude that did the chicken nuggets one did better.
Slut.
Yeah.
Wait, is
the-
that the same guy? Is this the same guy who did the
The boneless
what
wings.
is it?
They
Come
go-
on, Fauci, give me another ouchie or something like that?
Yeah, that was the
That
guy
guy?
that did another rap about Fauci. But Patrick,
Oh.
Patrick's the boneless wings things was also.
It was way better though than that.
It wasn't a fucking
Yeah.
rap. It was just
Right.
funny. It was just funny.
Yeah.
I like fucking with the city council, but
Yeah.
don't do a rap.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
I want
Don't-
boneless wings.
So there it is.
Oh man. You want to go to one of your other ones, Brad?
Yeah, sure. Let's pull something up. All right, we got NPC of the week. Now this one I'm gonna have to do a little bit of audio narration for the podcast listeners, but that's fine. You'll get the calming music in the background.
All right. Hopefully this
So
won't play an ad whenever I hit play.
Yeah, hopefully we'll cross to that bridge when we get there.
All right, here we go.
So go ahead and play it. Right now, we've got a homeless dude with a mask around his chin, dancing, spinning around.
Dancing like
camera
Michael Jackson.
pans over. What we got? We got a homeless person laying on the ground while another homeless person looks like they're trying to pickpocket. Oh, the police officer's out. Hey, get up. Stop touching. Stop touching that homeless.
Don't touch
Get
that
off.
woman.
Hit him with the patty.
Hit him with the
We
stick.
got,
And then he's
we
back.
got homeless dude back in the frame.
It
Dancing
bounce at
around.
the end.
That's awesome.
It looked like that dude was like choking that woman.
Yeah, yeah.
Something-
I think it was
yeah.
just two like drug addicts. Like one's trying to steal one from the one that's way too high.
Yeah.
And the cop comes over and he's like, "Hey, stop!" And they're like, "Oh, no!" And
He
no,
starts hitting
fuck
him with the
that.
billy club.
Bam, baton, and then all of a sudden you get dude dancing.
He comes
You
back
forget
into
about the
frame.
Dude dancing. He comes back in the frame.
One of the videos that suggested at the end of that reminded me, Nathan and I watched the Adam Carolla episode with Bill Maher today. It was pretty good. Well, Nathan pointed out, which I agree, that they spent a little too much time trying to go through Bill's like childhood, but that's pretty typical for Carolla. He always wants to hear people's backstory. I think it's partly that, but it's also partly like it's sort of an icebreaker, kind of get them warmed up and get them flowing. But Nathan made the point yesterday when we were talking about it that it's good that like, and Bill Maher is a good person for it, but he's traditionally seen as a leftist, but he's branching out. And you say he was on who else? Ben Shapiro.
Ben Shapiro.
Yeah. So it's good that there's somebody that is so widely regarded as a left winger and he started to see some of the bullshit, on the left, the woke nation and all these things, It's very good. It's worth listening to or watching on YouTube if that's what you prefer, but it's podcast.
If you want to see Bill Maher's weird face and have Adam Carolla squint at him for an hour and a half,
and wonder why Bill Maher gets so many hot models. He's not. He closes his eyes a lot. Whenever he's talking, he closes his eyes a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just
He's got
wanna
the-
talk about.
He's got that Biden squint.
Yeah.
Republicans.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Bill Maher even said, that because he was talking about how really good looking dudes have no game. They just walk up and girls are just like, okay,
Yeah.
he's like, but
Their opening line is, "Hey."
right. And but it's like, basically, he didn't really say it this way, but ugly guys like him have to learn how to pick up chicks,
Right.
is what he's saying.
It's because he's an
Fucking
asshole.
lift, asshole.
Yeah. It was funny. At some point, he said,
Yeah,
"Oh,
that's what those-
I'm
yeah.
never
Put them back
mean."
down.
Yeah, you are. You're kind of known as an asshole, but he's funny.
Bill Maher's an asshole.
All right, here. How about this? I got something for us here.
All right.
Did you guys see this? Let's see. This Feminist Group's logo. This new Feminist Group.
Mm-mm.
Does it look like a cock? and
Hilarious.
balls?
Feminist Group's logo yanked for side-splitting reason. This isn't a mistake. It reeks of teenage boy malevolence. Who said that? I mean, that's
Joe Cavazzo or whatever his name is. At the
Jim
top.
Caviezel,
The guy from Passion of the Christ?
Jesus himself. Logo for the Women's Network Feminist Group in Australia has been yanked after being mercilessly mocked for its apparent likeness to male genitalia.
Oh.
Let's
Let's see.
see what we got here. Ah,
Oh my
Oh,
God.
shit.
Get the hell out, man.
Wow.
Wow.
No.
This is real.
This
This
is
is
another
real.
one of those things that has to go through committees and be approved by multiple people before that goes mainstream. Wow.
I don't. Many at first assumed the logo was a fake because of its overt resemblance to male genitalia, while others were furious that it detracted from the actual purpose of the network. Phallic is an understatement, said Sandoval. Not only is a phallus clearly present, the logo includes the full range of external male genitalia. Like I said, you couldn't make this up if you tried to mock woke losers. Apparently they did. This was decided and then by the staff.
Maybe they were trying to cause a buzz to get people to know about their network.
That I don't know if I would think these people are that smart, but you might be right. You might be right.
Just an idea.
They've removed the logo pending consultation with staff. And you can also see this gross ad for
dentures,
mouth implant.
Yeah.
I hate when websites have ads that are intentionally gross.
Yeah.
Like pop your zit. Look at this. And it's just this picture of this guy's face. And he's like squeezing this big nasty thing out of his
I don't think I've seen that one.
See that shit. It's gross. But anyway, yeah, there's that. That was funny. I thought that was funny.
I have a couple things here. And Dave, I think did you email me something? Yeah, actually.
Yeah, I had a couple things from last week, but I sent you something this week, I believe.
Okay, so this is actually kind of interesting. So a couple of weeks ago, March 5th, I believe, was supposed to be the launch date. So you guys know about OneWeb. It's sort of a competitor to Starlink. Same idea, bunch of satellites orbiting Earth to provide internet. Their target market isn't really consumers like us, but I'm sure they would take them once they get their constellation in place. Well, I think we talked about it on the show. Russia threatened and followed through. They threatened to not launch these satellites unless the UK pulled out their investment in the company, because the UK, I don't know how it works, but as a nation, UK owns part of OneWeb, and so Russia was like, we're not going to launch these unless UK pulls out their stake in OneWeb. And, of course, the space news people are like, man, this could be really bad for OneWeb. How else are they going to get their satellites launched? Because everybody else either isn't flying yet or is too expensive, except for SpaceX. But would SpaceX and OneWeb enter into an agreement when they're direct competitors? Now, of course, SpaceX launches satellites, and they had a big campaign to launch a bunch of Iridium satellites, which they're also not like consumer facing internet, but they do provide internet. But just this week it was announced, or whatever day it was, the 21st, I think that was Monday, OneWeb and SpaceX have entered an agreement, and so SpaceX is going to launch the OneWeb satellites from, I don't know, from here on out, or until they come up with another option. But it's kind of interesting. OneWeb is basically going to be bankrolling Starlink launches because they're going to charge them something to launch these, and whatever that profit is probably enough to pay for the launches of Starlink. As that's
and
going.
They are competitors.
They're definitely competitors. Yeah, they do. Their goal, I think, is more like towards like commercial entities, maybe like providing internet for like commercial airlines or something. But they will have the ability to have terminals just like Starlink does. It's probably not going to be quite as fast because their satellites are in a higher orbit, so their latency is going to be a little bit worse than Starlink's. But it's still a pretty low altitude. I can't remember what the altitude is, but Starlink, I think, is at like 500 kilometers. OneWeb might be 1,000 kilometers or something. But
they're OneWeb's geostationary, right?
No. They're low Earth orbit. You've got what is it? HughesNet, the one that's like basically people that live in the middle of nowhere have to resort to HughesNet satellite internet, and it's
it's terrible.
It's like $500 a month for 1 megabyte down. It's really, really bad. And latency, you will not be doing any gaming on any satellite internet that's based in geostationary orbit. And for those that don't know, it's like 25,000 miles up. It's like it's way up there. But yeah, so that is quite interesting space news. And another interesting space news. So Russia they're still on the space station with the U.S. astronauts, and they just launched some more cosmonauts. And to everyone's surprise, when they showed up on the space station, those look awfully a lot like Ukraine colors.
They sure do.
I don't know what this means. And the astronauts or the cosmonauts do apparently, I just learned, they have the option of, like what color their suits are going to be. And so they chose these colors. And I'm kind of surprised it was allowed. But I mean, look down here on their legs. This is like some kind of pocket or something, but that definitely looks like Ukraine right there. Blue with the white stripe there. It seems like the cosmonauts are maybe showing a little solidarity with Ukraine, sort of, silently.
They want to keep their jobs, so they're not going to buck up directly.
They're not going to say anything, but
but they're like, hey,
probably not a good idea.
Who doesn't like space?
Yeah. So, very, very interesting. I have a couple more, but I figure we'll let somebody else do some talking.
Let's see what Dave's got for us.
Yeah.
Dave
I
had something.
shouldn't have stopped sharing my screen. Let me pull this over here.
I want that one you showed me a couple days ago.
It is that one.
This is that one? Okay.
Yeah.
A glass? I'm sorry. I almost spoiled it.
Now listen.
I'm like, what?
I generally don't always read through the article. I did today, and I don't want to take credit in any way for how this dude wrote this article. He's trying to be funny, but Bruce Lee wrote this article.
Yeah, his name is Bruce Lee.
Bruce Wiley. He has to add in the Y
Brucey
his whole
Lee.
life. Yeah.
So now, I'm trying to skip him trying to be funny. So he goes so long. He goes so long trying to be funny.
Dave, what's the title of this article? What's just the head?
I'm so sorry. Doctors found a glass tumbler was cause of a woman's UTI symptoms.
I don't know how.
Yeah, we need some help, Becca. Some
girthy boy.
Yeah, we're gonna need.
I want boneless wings.
What's it say, Dave? What's it say? What's it say? Read us something. Tell us about
she
it.
was suffering from urinary urgency, which is a common symptom of a urinary tract infection, because when your bladder's full, your walls get irritated. Why do we have to talk about that? I want to get
your walls get irritated.
Yeah. The woman had received treatment for bladder infection several times previously. However, each time no one had taken a closer look at her bladder. While the woman was in the emergency room, a urinalysis on a sample of her urine found both red blood cells and lots of white blood cells. This might have been expected for a typical UTI. However, an X-ray of her pelvic area revealed something even more unusual. An object that appeared to be shaped like a glass, and nothing in your pelvis should be shaped like a glass.
It looks oddly like a glass.
Your genitals. So the woman then underwent surgery to remove the object from her bladder, and the surgery revealed a glass.
It got inside of her bladder?
Yeah.
How does it?
I'll read on. Okay. I'll read on.
It just can't
surgery
fit.
Revealed a glass more than half full situation.
Oh.
This guy.
Nice.
This fucking guy.
Brucey. That's old Brucey.
It was a glass tumbler that had apparently been sitting in her bladder for a while because it was encased in a calcified material.
What? Still, like, are we saying that this glass is intact?
Yes.
I scrolled through, by the way, to see if there were if we could see the X-ray. There were no other images other than.
Doesn't make any sense.
Well, as long as she doesn't
tweet. There's the tweet.
Oh, you haven't tweeted?
Bull riding, she'll be all right.
You'll see the calcified thing in the tumbler.
Okay.
Looks more like a shot glass of some sort.
Oh, it's not a tumbler. Yeah, that's a.
All told, this combination, glass tumbler and bladder stone, measured 8 centimeters by 7 centimeters by 8 centimeters.
What? No.
That's a fairly large stone, as 8 centimeters is about 1/20th the height of Napoleon. What?
What is
That is a
strange?
That is a terrible
With this
joke.
glass
That is-
tumbler successfully removed from her bladder, the woman was able to leave the hospital after 2 days and apparently had no problems afterwards.
There's
Used
no
for
way.
quote erotic purpose, but how the fuck? I mean, okay, so she shoved a glass something, a bottle or whatever, up her
Yeah.
vagina.
That's
And then just
something you
forgot about it.
Yeah, you
That
don't
doesn't
forget
equal
about that.
bladder.
Upon
Doesn't make any
questioning from the doctors, the patient mentioned that she had used the glass tumbler as a sex toy 4 years prior, inserting it into her vagina.
4 years.
No.
Apparently, she hadn't removed the glass tumbler from her vagina. Over time, this object probably caused inflammation and the breakdown of the tissue between her vagina and her bladder. The following diagram shows how your bladder sits in front of your vagina. There you
Oh,
go.
Oh, is there a diagram?
And
Yeah.
Becca, you
Scroll
told us that you couldn't lose a condom in your vagina. This woman,
No, I said a tampon.
I mean, yeah,
she
tampon,
lost an
I'm sorry.
entire
This tissue
tumbler.
breakdown then may have allowed the glass tumbler to slowly migrate from her vagina into her bladder. When a tunnel
What?
forms between your bladder and your vagina, it's called a viscovaginal fistula.
So it's like slowly like stretching
just
the
kinda-
membrane and then
it's going through.
migrates through there. Oh my god!
Yeah,
like
as the
it's
tissue
trying to-
encases it.
But
It
how
thinks
do
it's
you
a baby
just
and it just moves it back. I don't
forget
know.
about that?
You
for
can't. There's no
years?
fucking chance unless she's numb, because in order for the glass to have gone from her vagina up into the next area or this up through the cervix is what opens to birth a child.
I don't
and
think
that
it
is
went through the
something-
cervix. I think it like broke down this wall right here and,
Oh, okay.
and like
Went through the
migrated
side.
through there.
Yeah.
But still,
Now here's some good information at the end of the article. In general, it's a bad idea to put anything into your vagina that don't
Anything.
belong in your vagina. Your vagina isn't a suitcase or a treasure chest.
Unless
Some
you're
might
going to
argue
jail.
that they might be treasure
It could be a
chests.
cum
You're
dumpster though,
telling
right?
me
And
that somebody walked around with this
Yeah.
inside them for 4 years.
Is that 8
no,
centimeters?
it was like
and felt
I think it was
nothing?
smaller, right? Eight,
no, it's like it looked like a shot glass to me. About
Yeah,
shot
but
glass
8
size.
centimeters. I mean, that's about 4 inches, right?
No,
Well, they
that's
said
like,
a tumbler. Tumbler's not.
I mean,
like
a centimeter
shot
is-
glass.
what's
tumbler's
ironic is
pretty
she's part
big.
of a tumbling team.
A centimeter is roughly a half inch. I know it's not.
I don't
You
like
know, it's a
that
little
Euro
smaller than a
Cup
half inch.
measurement.
So we're
I
probably
don't
talking
like
How
that.
many centimeters is it? I got
Eight.
the conversion
eight
thing up.
8 long. That was the longest dimension, right? It was-
3.15 inches.
Okay, so 3 inches.
That's a
That's-
tiny tumbler.
Tiny
that's,
tumbler.
that's a shot glass.
I think it's a
Like you
shot
said,
glass, but
Yeah,
it might
it's
be
a
it might be a
shot
British situation where they call something a tumbler.
Oh,
Get the fuck out of here, Brucey Lee.
So instead, it's a much more complex body part that's lined with acid-producing bacteria. These microbes help maintain specific conditions in your vagina, such as pH level that can range from 3.8 up to 5, depending on your age. So putting anything not designed to go in there could disrupt these conditions,
oh man.
leading to tissue damage. So
Yeah, it's fucking
moreover,
gross.
it's a good idea to keep track of whatever you happen to put into your vagina. This doesn't necessarily mean creating a spreadsheet. along
Remember,
with
kids,
graphs and pie
keep
charts.
track.
You know, men
feel
and
like-
women, they're not so different. You know, women are always putting things in their vagina, and guys are always putting their penises in things. You know,
or putting
and
things
vaginas.
inside their penis.
well, that's not as common, but yes, we
That's
all
not-
love to hear about sounding.
Yeah, I forget
Yeah.
who the comedian was that says you get out of the vagina at birth and you do everything to get back in the rest of your life.
That's Ron White.
Yeah,
That sounds right.
Yeah. Oh man,
but how do you forget about a shot glass being inside you?
I don't think
You're
it's
just busy.
I,
You
I'd
got a
like
lot
to.
of stuff going on.
Becca, how do you get
You
past
would-
that?
Yeah.
Maybe
How do you get
maybe
past what?
she's a.
How do you get past the having a
How do
tumbler
you get
in there?
past having a shot glass in your vagina all day?
It's her cooch ball training. There's no
Yeah.
way it'll
For
happen.
4 years.
Oh,
Yeah.
4 years.
yeah, that's the hard mode, isn't it?
Maybe she's a clown sexual and she's just stuffing shit up there all the time.
Hmm.
Scarves, rubber chickens,
Yeah.
I just
rabbits.
can't. I can't get
Confetti.
behind
Yeah.
the fact that she just forgot it was there, or the fact that
Just
she didn't
forgot.
realize it was there, because you would have had to have felt
You would feel
a
it
portion
moving
of
around.
your
People get busy,
a portion
Becca.
of your body. No, I understand that, I do, but you'd feel if the wall between your vagina and your bladder
Starting
ruptured.
to tear, yeah.
It doesn't
And-
rupture. It kind of morphs into it. It
You
so
would feel the
happens-
glass.
Oh,
moves
it's okay. So
around.
it's sort of like when like a fence is close to a tree and the tree grows and it sort
Yeah.
of gobbles up the fence. The fence
Yeah.
doesn't experience any pain, nor does the tree. It just happens over time, very slowly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but those things also don't have nerves. You got those in there. Maybe
Yeah, but she could probably rationalize that she's having a bad period month.
Well, but it was 4 years. And also the fact that your bladder, what is the size of your bladder? Like I know that we talked about the size of the tumbler, but in relation to a bladder, did it fill the thing up? Because if that's the case, then she would have had to pee constantly every
That was
every
the problem.
second.
That's what she went to the doctor for,
Yeah.
was because she was peeing constantly, and they said, "Oh, you got a
Mhm.
UTI." But as it turns out, she just kept having to pee constantly. That never got cured.
I think there's more to
Becca.
it. I think there's some
Yeah.
like she's probably got
That was the beginning of the article.
some kind of drug addiction or something. She doesn't want to go to the doctor, and so she ignored it. I don't think she forgot about it. I think she ignored it.
Becca, we talked about you being an investigative journalist. Can you track down this woman and ask her?
Oh, I thought you were going to say, can I put myself in that situation and see what
Or
happens?
I mean,
That too.
I've
yeah.
it might be
got-
easier just to ask the lady that already
You
did
lose
it.
No,
choice.
it's not going to be easier because I already have a pretty decently sized glass tumbler
I
in
thought
my
you were
kitchen.
going to say you
and
already
it's-
have
thought
some
you were
already
gonna say
decently
vagina.
sized vagina.
Well, she's got to have a decent sized vagina for a decent sized glass tumbler.
He's like, I could fit a full 20-ounce Yeti in there.
Yeah.
No, I have this little tiny glass pitcher. It's about that big and it's blue and it's got Shirley Temple on it. And I got it at
sick.
Goodwill.
No.
Nowhere to put
Twisted.
that.
Yeah, I'll let you guys know how it goes next week.
Okay.
And
Yeah, let
also,
us know.
is she just like, I don't know how, did it say how old she was? Did I miss that?
4 years older than she
45.
was when it went in.
Who,
She
Shirley
is-
Temple?
40. She's 45.
So is she just like, okay, no sex because I've got this tumbler stuck inside me because that's only going to make it worse?
Well, I'll bet it was upside down so that it can still work,
Okay.
you know?
So I
Maybe-
found
maybe
I found
the
something
way-
that goes a bit deeper.
Maybe the pressure in there made her orgasm really easily, so she just, she enjoyed it.
She was 45,
Uh-huh.
and they think what she was doing was urethral sounding.
Wait.
Shot glass is still
It
like
went in her
pro
vagina,
level.
Yeah,
not through
there's-
her urethra.
Doesn't sound like a good time to me, but never know. I'll let you know. I've got my Shirley Temple thing. I'll see what I can do.
Poor Shirley.
Animal crackers.
In my cooch.
Oh man. I have
That's a show title.
I have a very speaking of women, I have a very intelligent young woman that has a message for all of us on why meat is racist. Can Nathan hear us? I don't remember. Does he have his AirPods or is he wired? We have to wait for him.
He's
to come
wired.
Back. Okay, so we'll wait for him to come back. I'll let you get a look at this young lady who looks like she has a lot to tell the world. She's
How
very
is-
knowledgeable.
Oh,
How-
I think
read
I played
it.
this
That's like
before.
what the
You-
guy
oh,
said
we
to me
played
at
this before?
Beach Shack.
Yeah, I've played this before for you guys.
Yeah.
Have you?
Yes.
But
I
this
remember
this
that
was
one.
posted 9 days ago. Why would somebody post something that's already
She's-
been posted
yeah,
on Reddit?
she's done this for like years. I did this like last year.
I remember that
Yeah.
there was the woman at the council meeting that was talking about meat being racist and anti-feminist and everything, but I don't necessarily remember her.
Oh, okay.
Why
well,
am I going to take advice on your racist from a white person?
while
'Cause that's a race too.
I already played
Some
this.
of these were
Oh,
Yeah,
go
but
ahead.
that's my race, so I can make fun of them as much as I want, and you can't stop me.
I played this for y'all last week after the show because I forgot to bring it up. But I think I've mentioned how Dmitry Rogozin, he's the head of Roscosmos, the Russian version of NASA. He
The
was
broomsticks guy.
yeah, he was talking shit about how the U.S. is going to have to use their broomsticks to get to space because they provide the engines for Atlas V. it's so weird that he would say that because it's not like the Atlas V is the only rocket. And ULA already has all of those engines that they need for all of the rest of the Atlas Vs that will ever launch because they're moving on to a new rocket. But
didn't you already show us this?
I showed you this after the show last week because I forgot to bring it up on the show. So I don't want to deprive the listeners of this great moment, this poking the bear that SpaceX did right before liftoff of one of the last Starlink missions.
Time to let the American broomstick fly and hear the sounds of freedom. LD is go for launch.
Yeah.
LOL.
LOL. Okay. Well, let's play this anyway. Patrick.
I didn't mean to.
LOL.
Patrick.
On your parade.
I don't know. Was it the same video, Patrick? Is this the same?
Yeah, I've shared this.
Exact.
Before.
How is eating meat racist? I'll gladly tell you. Looks like we've got an oppressor on our hands. So, during slavery times, slaves did not get to eat the same things as their
Nathan thought
masters.
this was a joke.
They got the scraps that no one wanted. Chitterlings. Now that black people have overcome slavery, they developed a rich barbecue culture to make up for all the meat eating that they lost out on.
That's
So
why
when
they
you go
did
to the
that.
store
It's not just
and you
because they
buy a
like
piece of
barbecue.
meat as a white person,
Rich
you are
barbecue
actively
culture.
taking away a piece of meat that could be being enjoyed by a survivor of ancestral slavery. Eating meat is not only racist, but it's also anti-Semitic. During the Holocaust, Jews did not get to eat meat in labor camps. They ate potato soup, which would spill on their bodies, burning them and giving them infections.
It just
That's
always.
now
It would
the
always
Jews
spill on them.
survivors
They were.
brisket.
Always.
You know how
Just
Jews,
as
they're
much
known
as
for
Jews.
being
Stop
butterfingers.
appropriating
That's
every-
if they were lucky to get potato soup.
Yeah, and it was just always spilling on them. Like
Yeah.
there was
The
nothing
day
they
a
could do.
white person tells me how to not be racist. Good Lord. Her point is invalid. How would she know the trials and tribulations of the black race since she has never experienced it and her ancestors? How dare she speak on the behalf of the
TikTok
people?
is racist.
Yeah, well,
Mhm.
TikTok's full of retards. Oh, I meant to bleep that out, but I didn't.
I'll allow the retard word. That's okay. Our word is okay.
Thank God.
I have
As long as I don't say
decreed
it.
Yeah, as long as you don't do that, everything's fine.
Cool.
Alright.
Was there any? Yeah, Brad had one more, I think, and I think.
And
yeah.
I've got
Oh yeah,
a
no,
short,
play this
Oh.
video. Well, all right. I do have one more I'd
What
like
did
to
you
get
say,
to
Becca?
tonight.
I have a short story to read too.
Okay, yeah, let's do that.
That now?
I mean,
Okay.
Showtime.
All right. So the last week, I guess I read you guys that Facebook post from the property manager in Cocoa Beach that had to talk to a shirtless man that was sunbathing at the pool. Well, he had another post, and it he posts some stuff. I wish that he posted more. I check frequently to see if he has new interesting stories, but at the moment there's just a couple, and I did have it pulled up and now I don't. So continue
no.
talking for a moment while I look for it.
okay, we'll
Devo, play the video.
yeah, we'll play.
All right, guys. There are a
Oops.
couple people here I know for a fact
Where's-
have been summoned for jury duty.
Yes.
And I've got some life pro tips from a gentleman, which I feel will be Nathan in the future at some point.
No, okay.
It does
But,
look like a future Nathan.
This is definitely advice you could take, and it will definitely work if you need to get out of jury duty. Steve-O, roll that.
How to
beautiful
get
video
out of
footage.
jury duty. Claim you're involved in the crime being investigated. Throughout the proceedings, ask the attorneys if they're interested in buying fresh human organs. Make sure you mention your favorite movie is Runaway Jury with John Cusack. Talk about how excited you are about being on the jury for the first time since the O.J. Simpson murder trial. Ask a lot of questions involving Jews. You don't have to be for or against Jews. Just appear to be overly concerned about them. How many Jews are involved in this case? Are there going to be any Jews on the jury? Are you Jewish? What about you? Hey, you over there, are you Jewish? Legally adopt the defendant as your child. Convince everyone you're actually supposed to be at a taping for Judge Judy. Ask the judge if this is one of those cases where you're allowed to accept bribes. Walk into the courthouse with the megaphone shouting, "Guilty! Guilty! Guilty! Guilty!" If someone tries to take your megaphone, sentence them to 5 years in jerk prison. Try to roll your eyes every few seconds. No matter what questions you're asked, say whatever and roll your eyes. Whatever. Claim you have a bias. No matter what the crime, say you were a victim of that too. You were a victim of murder? Yes.
That's pretty good.
That's good.
He's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mr. Forthright.
Mr.
You
Forthright.
guys.
Don't expect any new content from him. He
Oh.
passed away.
Oh.
He died.
The victim of murder.
But is he?
I was
Was
about
a
to
victim
email
of
him.
murder, turns out.
Good news, bad news.
Does he have? Oh, he has lots of videos.
He's
though,
got
so-
lots of videos,
How
and
to
they're
grow
all pretty
taller.
funny.
How to raise
Yeah.
kids that aren't awful.
How to get rid of hiccups. Steve-O, you know how.
Yeah. Oh, I do.
More ways to win the Super Bowl.
How to survive
So are
the
you-
apocalypse.
So he definitely did die. That's true.
Yeah, no, he is 100% dead. Like every single one of his YouTube comments.
Well, his
are
most
just
recent.
Like, all right.
Oh, and actually, yeah, the most recent one's
Oh,
from
there
3
it
years
is.
ago. It's Mr. Forthright, 1925 to 2018. Wow, he almost
He
made
was
it to
92
100.
years old.
Has he been
Yeah.
on
yeah.
Tim and Eric? Because he sure seems like a guy that you'd see on Tim and
Yeah,
Eric.
he does. Yeah.
No, but
I
I
want-
mean, he is a
Play
comedy
that How to
goldmine.
Jump High one.
Yeah, go ahead and play it. I mean, they're all short videos.
How to jump
I found
higher.
his obituary.
Live on the moon. Live in a bouncy castle. Live in a bouncy castle on the moon, because that would be amazing. Ride a kangaroo everywhere you go. Pretend the floor is hot lava. Even better, make the floor out of real lava. You jump higher and save money on heating costs. Amputate your legs. Replace them with rockets. That was my impression of a rocket. Increase hang time by attaching a drone to your head and tiny trampolines to your sneakers and stuffing your shorts with helium balloons. Eat jumping beans and frog legs and plenty of hops and tons of bouncy balls. Get one of those leg transplants with a centaur. Don't get a leg transplant with a mermaid. Raise the stakes to motivate yourself. Jump over things that make you nervous, like babies. And those people have had too much plastic surgery
You could put
and their
jumping beans
faces
in
are
your
like
vagina if you're a girl.
Yeah.
They'll probably just morph into your
Flexibility
bladder.
improves performance. So be very flexible at all times. Hey, can I borrow your car? Yeah, that's fine, whatever. Hey, can I borrow your house? Yeah, that's fine, I'm flexible. Hey, can I borrow your kidney? Whatever. Hire cheerleaders to lift you up at a moment's notice. If
I
you
can
can't
send
find
flowers
people
to
strong enough to lift
Mr.
you, hire
Forthright.
people willing to let you stand on them. Try base jumping. Jump
That's a
off
little
the top
late.
of Mount Everest. Under
I
your
just
flight
learned about
path,
it. I want to send
have
flowers
the
to
Sherpas
him.
doing this.
Sent flowers to his grave.
Yeah.
Oh, and one more thing. None of this works if you're white.
Uh,
Sorry.
That was
Yeah,
awesome.
Oh, that's
Sorry.
great.
He was apparently a lawyer until his 70s is what I read in his obituary.
Until the
as it
70s or
was
his
going
70s.
I was
His
kind of like,
70s.
oh, this is
Yeah.
not. As
I mean,
fun.
his how to get out of jury duty was pretty
Yeah.
spot on.
Yeah.
If I go
And,
in there and I'm overly concerned about the
They,
Jews,
they said his,
Are
his
you a
son
Jew? Are
convinced
you a
him
Jew?
to do the YouTube stuff.
you don't have to be for or against them. You just
Yeah.
have to be overly concerned about it. What he says.
All
All
right,
right,
I think.
I found it. I found the story.
Oh, good,
Okay.
good,
All right.
good, good.
So this is from the property man.
Boneless Wings?
And that's it. That's the story. All right. My squirrels were too skinny. I noticed one day that my squirrels living in the palm trees outside my windows looked a little too skinny. There just wasn't much to them. I observed them hunting for food and realized they didn't seem to have enough natural food sources to sustain their level of activity. Then one of them decided to get as close as he could to me on the balcony. He climbed up the palm tree and hung upside down by his feet and just stared at me. He started waving his little hands at me and chattering. Gotta admit, any animal with thumbs kind of freaks me out a little bit. Anyway, I went to the kitchen and got some peanuts in the shell and poured them onto the palm tree stump outside my apartment. The squirrels came out of the trees and ate and chased each other around. I enjoy watching them play what I can only describe as King of the Hill. I was enjoying the squirrel games when a homeless man came walking down the street. He turned and came straight at the stump that is about 10 to 15 feet off the road. My first thought was that he was going for the peanuts. I have no problem with that. If you need that peanut because you're hungry, then you get a big handful. He didn't go for the peanuts. He lunged for the squirrel.
Oh, God.
I was stunned. He didn't get the squirrel. I found myself wondering what I would have done if he would have actually grabbed the squirrel. I think I would have had to immediately start negotiations for the squirrel's life. I believe he would have taken a good hot meal over eating that squirrel in broad daylight on Ridgewood Avenue. I gotta say that if he could have pulled some Mr. Miyagi moves out and actually caught that little fur bullet, then at least he would have deserved, or that doesn't make any sense. The least he would have deserved would have been a good steak and a couple of sides.
Wow. This is great. New
Yeah,
segment. Tell him
some...
tell him he needs to make sure he posts weekly.
Okay, will do.
All right, I think that's been a show. Check us out every Wednesday live at 9:30. Usually on Facebook.
Usually. For some reason we're on YouTube this week.
No reason at all.
Yeah, we don't know why.
Thought we'd try it.
We just missed it over here in YouTube.
Yeah, we wanted to stretch our legs over in the YouTube realm.
See how it would feel in the YouTube slums over here.
Yeah.
We all still have all of our morals that we've always had.
Yeah.
And that's the reason we're here.
We're still the same bad people we always were.
These nuts.
Check us out. Check out the replay of the video on Rumble.
Yeah,
every week.
Rumble. And while we're live, you can chime in on the conversation. We would love for some of y'all to take advantage of this and join us. Make sure you bring a joke or something interesting to talk about. Otherwise, we'll kick you out. And this time, I will report you.
You're going to jail.
And how do they do that, Brad?
Well, if I were you and you were me, I would just call 865-316-6955 or put that in the Zoom password thing, and
meeting ID.
Yeah. I mean, everybody's used Zoom at some point within the last 2 years, right? Unless
most people go off of the links,
people.
the invite links, and that's how. But there is a way you can just put in a meeting ID.
Yeah. Jam that old 865-316-6955 up in there, or put it in your cell phone, and then you'll get some kind of voicemail. I don't even know what our voicemail sounds like, but I'm sure it's great. It's fantastic. Say whatever you want, or join the meeting. Say something good, or say something funny or provocative, but not too provocative. But, you can
just a teaser.
Yeah. You know what words not to say. Just don't say those words. It's that easy. It's that simple. 865-316-6955. Take it away, Patrick.
Be sure to like, subscribe, share anywhere you get your podcast from. If it asks for a 5-star review, do it.
Hit us a 5-star review. Yeah, hit us one. Get us a review on Spotify, please.
Yeah,
5-star.
Feels real good. You should try it.
And then also support us on patreon.com/verbal assault. If you donate so much, you get to listen and find out about why Rebecca masturbated on that day.
That's right.
Right, that day. Whatever day you sign up,
I'll just send you a picture of whatever I put in my vagina that day.
Yeah.
The 20-ounce tumbler.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
And here's a poem I just pulled out of my vagina.
Oh.
It's called Tiny Tumbler. Meet me tonight where the moon meets the ground. Your stake in this was never part of the agreement, but you will have the ability to fight. The demon behind the curtain will get its second wind and come back silently, turned the other way, but clearly present. We should never have stopped asking questions, but we can take the credit once your consolation is in place. At this point, we're only suffering from the urgency of the horror in the reflection, but to gain freedom from the pressure, we got to start somewhere.
Shirley Temple Deuces.